If you're still buying Nvidia today, you might be playing a game that Wall Street already finished. Because in 2026, the smartest institutional money in the world quietly rotated, not out of AI, deeper into it, into the one part of the AI stack that is genuinely sold out, the part that even Nvidia depends on to ship its own products. We're talking about Samsung and SK Hynix, two of the most powerful companies in the world right now, and most retail investors have no idea how to actually buy them. That's exactly what we're covering today. By the end of this video, you're going to know why Wall Street rotated into memory stocks, the best ways to get exposure to Samsung and SK Hynix right now, and the one specific date coming up that you need a plan for before it arrives. Let's get into it. Here's what most investors are missing right now. The AI trade has two phases. Phase one was about compute. Who makes the chips that run AI? That was Nvidia's moment. And Nvidia crushed it. But phase two is different. Phase two is about memory. The stuff that actually feeds those chips the data they need to think. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Without memory, those Nvidia GPUs are just expensive paperweights. So the question is, who makes the memory? Two companies control most of the market, Samsung and SK Hynix, both based in South Korea. And right now, they literally cannot make enough of it. The specific type of memory powering AI is called HBM, high bandwidth memory. Think of a regular GPU like a race car. HBM is the fuel line. The faster and wider the fuel line, the faster the car goes. You can't just swap in a bigger engine. You need the fuel line to match. Every single AI chip Nvidia ships needs HBM. There's no substitute. And here's where it gets interesting. Samsung and SK Hynix's combined HBM capacity is booked solid through the end of 2027. That's not a rumor. In February 2026, S&P Global upgraded SK Hynix's credit rating to BBB+, and the reason they gave was that significant supply increases are unlikely before 2028. A credit rating agency is essentially saying this company has a locked-in revenue stream for at least 2 more years. But here's where most investors get it wrong. They try to buy this trade directly. And that's a problem. Samsung and SK Hynix are Korean companies. You can't just buy them on the New York Stock Exchange. So most people reach for SOXX, the big semiconductor ETF. And look, SOXX is a fine ETF. But if your thesis is memory specifically, SOXX is the wrong tool. It's loaded with Nvidia, A&D, equipment makers. You're getting diluted exposure at best. The other option people find is EWY. That's the South Korea ETF. And EWY does hold Samsung and SK Hynix about 49% combined. But the other 51%, Hyundai, Kia, POSCO Steel, that's not an AI memory trade. That's a Korean conglomerate trade with some memory mixed in. So what changed in April 2026? A new ETF launched. Ticker DRAM. The Roundhill Memory ETF. Pure play, only memory and storage companies. SK Hynix, Samsung, Micron, SanDisk. And the market responded immediately. DRAM hit $1 billion in assets under management in 10 trading days. That is a record pace. It crossed $5 billion in its first month. When institutional money moves that fast into a new product, that's not retail hype. That's a signal. And personally, I love the makeup of DRAM's holdings. Heavy into Micron, SK Hynix, and Samsung. Exactly what I wanted. Pure memory. Compare that to EWY. Yes, it's been on a run, but pull up a 20-year chart and you'll see it spent nearly 2 decades going nowhere. That's because most Korean conglomerates have historically been run to benefit controlling family shareholders, not outside investors. Low dividends, opaque governance, complex ownership structures. Global funds priced in that risk for decades. With DRAM, you're not dragging any of that along. You own the memory trade and nothing else. Now I know what you're thinking. It already ran. Is it too late? Here's the thing about a supply shortage, it doesn't fix itself overnight. Building a new semiconductor fab from the ground up takes 3 to 5 years minimum. Samsung and SK Hynix are both building massive new facilities in the Yongin cluster in South Korea. But those fabs won't be at full capacity until 2028 at the earliest. That means the supply shortage isn't going away this year or next year. Meanwhile, demand keeps growing. Every hyperscaler, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, is signing long-term contracts to lock in memory supply. They're not buying spot, they're reserving capacity years in advance. That's contracted revenue. That's a fundamentally different risk profile than a normal momentum trade. And the valuation? On a forward basis, meaning what analysts expect these companies to earn in 2027, the memory sector is actually trading at a discount to the broader market. The market hasn't fully priced in what 2027 earnings could look like. That's the floor. Now, here's the part you actually need to hear before you do anything. There's a date you should have on your calendar. June 3rd. That's when South Korea holds its local elections. And there's a specific reason this matters for your position. South Korea's government has been running what's called the Corporate Value Up program, essentially tax incentives and policy tailwinds designed to boost Korean company valuations. Samsung and SK Hynix have been major beneficiaries. That's part of the why EWY is up sharply this year. The ruling party is expected to win big on June 3rd, and markets have been rallying into that expectation. But here's the thing about good news in markets. Once it's confirmed, it's done. There's no more upside from that specific catalyst. Smart money knows this. They buy the rumor and sell the news. The moment the election result comes in, even if it's exactly what everyone expected, there's a real possibility of a 10 to 15% pullback. Not because anything changed fundamentally, but because the short-term catalyst is exhausted. So if you're holding memory ETFs right now and you're sitting on significant gains, have a plan. Know what return level makes you want to take some off the table. Because the fundamentals are strong, but short-term timing around June is genuinely tricky. In fact, as I'm posting this, DRAM just had a significant single-day pullback. Hotter than expected inflation data spooked the broader market. A tax policy comment out of Korea and Samsung union tensions added fuel. And momentum traders used it as an excuse to take profits on a sector that had already run over 100% in 40 days. But look at what didn't change. The supply shortage is still real. The contracts are still signed. This is exactly the kind of noise I was talking about. Short-term noise aside, holding memory through this AI cycle might be the single best risk-reward trade out there right now. The bottleneck is real, the demand is contracted. And the supply shortage doesn't resolve until 2028 at the earliest. That's not a trade you want to be completely out of. So here's where we land. The AI trade didn't end with Nvidia. It evolved. Phase 2 is memory, and the most efficient way to own that trade right now is DRAM. The bull case has a real structural floor. Capacity is locked out through 2027. Revenue is contracted. The credit agencies are on board. But June 3rd is a real risk window. Sell the news dynamics are a real pattern. And a sector that's run this far, this fast, deserves some respect on the downside. If Microsoft, Google, or Meta signal even a slight slowdown in data center spending on their next earnings calls, memory stocks will reprice fast regardless of the supply shortage. That's the one number I'm watching closely. There are geopolitical risks too. Samsung and SK Hynix are both in South Korea, and that region carries its own headline risk. But the structural demand case hasn't changed. If this gave you a clearer picture of where the rotation is happening, hit like. It actually helps other investors find this kind of analysis. I'll see you in the next one.